Let's begin with food security. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the release of 40,000 metric tons of assorted grains from the National Strategic Grains Reserve to needy Nigerians. The orders came after a closed-door meeting with the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammed Abubakar. Meanwhile, the Director General of the World Trade Organization, WTO, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, warned that a potential food crisis is on the offing, especially for some African countries. Babajide, I can say that Nigeria will be affected in this because of insecurity. If there's any other reason adduced in any other country, but because of insecurity, Nigerians might have to pay for the for food, pay higher.
Yes, we are even already paying higher, so it's not might. Might is talking in the probability, but we're already paying a hefty price for our inability to secure our country. If you do a market survey now, you'll be shocked. Within a space of 3-4 months, the rate at which food prices have been climbing, it's unprecedented and it's scary, because we all know that in Nigeria, when prices begin to go up, they don't come down. They don't come down, they just keep climbing. And things like high diesel prices and all that have also worsened matters. Yes. Because these trucks that bring these vehicles,
yes, they use diesel.
Man diesel, the rest of the others, that is diesel that they use.
From the north, from the south.
If you ask builders now, maybe we are going to do another survey soon. If you ask builders now, the cost of sand, for example, builders in Lagos, yes, the cost of sand has gone up because they have to bring the sand
big trucks.
In those big trucks, they have to bring them from Ogun State. They have to bring granites and the rest also from Ogun State and other places. So by the time you factor the cost of diesel, it will just go up.
Sure
so it has gone up. Somebody said he bought, a friend of mine said he bought a tipper,
sharp sand.
A tipper of sharp sand for 60,000 naira. And I'm like, what? In the Lagos area, 9-inch block is now sold for 370 naira, just one, which could break when you are building. That 6-inch block, some will sell for 350. Of course, in some parts of the country, it's just in the realm of 250, 270.
Or the almighty cement now.
Cement, 4,000, 4,100 for a bag of cement. But you see, this diesel matter that we have not addressed, and with oil hovering around $100 per barrel, definitely will push the price of other things higher. I'm just worried that it appears that this thing has come a bit late, because people are going to celebrate Easter. It's already close. People are going to celebrate Salah. It's close. Then are we sure that it is the people who really need them? Because the president was talking about the needy. Are we sure that it will get to those people?
As usual.
If middlemen hijack these things, at the end of the day, the aim of releasing these grains will not be achieved. We need the people who need them the most to be the ones that will be able to access them. And the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs must be on top of his game and ensure that it's not hijacked by middlemen.
Well, obviously, Nigerians seem to be very resilient, and some people would describe us as docile, because it has never been as bad as this in terms of cost of livelihood, cost of living, the purchasing power, as in around the country. And I expected that, look, by now, the company, but people are just keeping it, and
actually
moving along.
The truth is this: when poverty stifles people and prevents them from taking action. It's not when somebody is impoverished, they get so tired and they get overwhelmed with their problems. People say Nigerians are docile. It's not as if they are docile, but they are already overburdened and overwhelmed with problems, and they are even confused. They don't know what to do. Yes, they are. You know, you are talking about food insecurity here. You are talking about human insecurity there. You are talking about
power problem.
You are talking about domestic violence. You are talking about all kinds of issues. So, and when you look at it, yes, every Nigerian is affected one way or the other. But by the time you begin to go deeper, you find out that some sets of people are more affected than the others. For example, there are so many people in Nigeria now that don't even know where their next meal is coming from. And these people, we already know that statistically, globally, they said that a lot of us live below $1 per day. And that was like maybe 5-7 years ago. Then $1 was probably even had more value.
360 naira.
Yeah.
320, 360.
Now you look at even what $1 can buy now. So everything is really, really bad, and people are just disillusioned. It's not, they are tired. Nigerians are tired. If you notice something, people don't even complain again. They are just telling you that, please, let this government just go. Let's see what will happen. Let's 2023 just come, and let's see what happens post 2023. They don't have the energy to even complain. You understand? So it's not that they are docile in that sense, but they are just tired. Because even personally, I am tired.
So let me look at this 40,000 metric tons assorted grains from the National Strategic Grains Reserve to the needy Nigerians. Now, when the needy Nigerians, when we are talking about close to 200 million people, I'm looking at impact now, and I'm looking at how this will reach the poorest of the poor to ensure that, look,
there is very little that 40,000 metric tons can do. But my appeal is, let it just get to the people who need it the most, because we live in a country peopled by selfish people. And before you know it, some middlemen will be planning how to hijack this thing and they resell. Remember, even when grains were being sent to the northeast, to the IDP, some people were diverting it and reselling in places where we didn't have IDP. So that is the nature of our people. We had terrible situations back then. So there's no guarantee that it can't happen again. All we can do is appeal to the minister to ensure that they do a good job of ensuring that this gets to the people who need it the most. From what we have seen, our people who are fasting, especially in northern Nigeria, are the people who benefit the most, because those grains are grains that are dear to them. That is what they need most. But we should be looking for a way to solve this problem of insecurity so that people can access their farms. People who have farmed can harvest in peace. If once we do that, the prices of these food items will come down.
Benue State, north central Nigeria, is in the news again as a killing field of some sorts. Governor Samuel Yotom has called on youths in the states to stand up and defend themselves and their communities against armed bandits. Governor Yotom was reacting to fresh attack on Agbago village in the outskirts of Makurdi by armed bandits, where 25 persons were killed. Let's share the story with you.
This is Tiotu community located about 30 kilometers away from Makurdi, the Benue State capital. At least 15 bodies, including those of women and children, have so far been recovered after a late-night attack on this community. We met residents of the attacked community fleeing with their luggage. What we met was nothing but the definition of sadness. People left with severe injuries. An abandoned child whose mother was killed.
I was waiting to hear what is going out. They brought the child, that they have killed the mother. After they killed the mother, the person that brought the child said that they have killed his own too, and they are taking his own inside the room and rock it.
Several others who sustained injuries from gunshots while fleeing the attacks are currently receiving treatment at the NKST Christian Hospital in Ochi. Other witnesses and affected persons share their pains.
Yesterday night I go market. As I come back, fly come attack me for load. Then therefore, me I day one, 4 of them they whole gone. Then as they try to shoot me, they no fit. Because 4 of them they cover me they middle. Then as I can't try escape for their hand, I start to learn. First bullet they shoot me for here. The second one they shoot me into stomach.
On the other part of my cousin brother Oni, we used to call him Titus Onguga. He was shot dead yesterday. He also, the brother, the son also is receiving treatment at NKST Hospital Ochi. And the situation is not safe for those casualties.
The local government chairman meets with the traditional rulers, security agency, and Taka prominent sons, after which she condemned the act.
We really condemn the killings in Benue State. We really condemn it. It's barbaric.
Benue State Governor Samuel Otom again laments over the gruesome murder.
The blood of my people who are innocent, who have not committed any crime. We go after those Fulani people with their accomplice, all those people who know their mission and are doing it. God will definitely avenge the blood.
This is nevertheless enjoined the security really operatives to do more in crime prevention, protection of lives and property in the land, just as he urged the people to cooperate with security agencies to flush out the undesirable elements in the society. Mayowa Okwanso, TVC News, Dhaka.
Like a governor that has resigned to fates, and if he's telling his people, guys, you have to defend yourself. There's nothing on ground for you. Just make sure you try and defend yourself.
Yeah, we keep hearing governors tell people to defend themselves. The governor of Katsina also said so. But that's not the solution. It's not the solution at all. In fact, it will worsen the rate of fatality if people were to take guns and defend themselves. The job of government is to defend its people. Government should defend.
Primary responsibility.
The primary responsibility of government is the protection and welfare of the people. So we can't keep telling our people to defend themselves. We have to find a way. There has to be a security structure in place. When people are asking for state police, it is because they believe that state police will protect them better. Federal security agencies have failed in this regard. Because why, if a community that is not so far from the state capital, why would people be killed in this manner? And across 3 local governments, you are slaughtering people. I mean, I just don't know what's going on. We can't just keep telling our people, how do they defend themselves? How do they buy guns? These guys will come with AK-47. How many people, how many of those ordinary people can access AK-47?
From where?
Even day guns.
You can't use gun to face
even day guns.
Somebody's coming
they
to
can't. How many of them can even afford day guns? Not to talk of an AK-47. The invading people, the militia that are coming to kill people, and in some cases to take over their fertile land, they always come prepared. they have a ready army somewhere. The people that they come to fight are usually not prepared. I mean, if you are not thinking of war,
they are caught off guard.
They usually sometimes they come in their sleep. They come when those people are fast asleep. This is what they do. These guys don't attack urban centers because they don't want to be killed, but they prefer to go to, they are cowards.
Rescue cannot come on time.
They prefer to go to the hinterland, all those places, farming communities, where even if you send for the army or send for the police, before they get there, they will have finished their operation. These are the places they go to. When they do hear that some killer headsmen invaded an urban center, no, they are not prepared to die. They know they go to these kind of places, remote communities. They go to kill people and run away. This is what we are saying. We have to protect our people. We can't keep telling them to take up arms to protect themselves. How do they do it? It's not going to be easy.
I wonder what's going on around. Look at this baby, the small baby now. And the mother is dead. And are these Nigerians, these ones coming to attack, and we've seem to have lost our humanity?
They are heartless. Because even in war situations, you find out that soldiers have pity on women, on babies, on kids. This is just too sad, and it's bad. I don't know how to describe it, and I don't want to start shedding tears because I don't know how many of them I will shed. Now, these people operated between 8 p.m. and 3 a.m. on that day. How many hours? So they had a field day.
8 p.m.
and 3 a.m.
5 hours.
5 hours.
Solid.
Solid 5 hours. They are so comfortable operating without any form of check, without any form of counter-attack. And not just that, in February, they attacked that state. They attacked about 2 local governments in the same Benue state, where they killed people. And now, we don't even know if the casualty, the number of people killed is actually 23, because there are still so many people that are unaccounted for right now. And I think it's just too convenient for our governors to say that people should carry arms, that they should defend themselves. For example, if let's even take it that people can defend themselves, were they trained in carrying arms and ammunition? Do they have even the weapons to use to defend themselves? So, you see, we say some things because we just want to say, and I want to believe that even the governors themselves are also overwhelmed. But then, why can't we just try this state police for a change? If we have been having problems using the same method all these years, why can't we just change? Let's try state police. Let's see where that will take us to as a nation, instead of just wasting lives, allowing people to die. Look at that small baby now. She has suddenly become an orphan. So it's so bad, and the solution to our problems are not so far-fetched that we cannot actually prefer them. I think we just need to have the right mindset to solving our problems. Let's try state police. People have been talking about it for years. Now is the time. And I think even our lawmakers should be concerned about that. They should be talking about state police now. State police now. We need to do something differently. We cannot keep on counting the number of dead people almost on daily basis. Okay. It doesn't make sense. People will not look at us and take us seriously, because obviously there is a vacuum now, and it's obvious that these people, they have seen us as they've seen governments as not being in charge, and they have taken over, which is very sad.
All right. President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned the brutal terrorist attacks in Kanam and Wase, local government areas of Plateau State, describing the killings as heinous. In a statement by his media aide, Garba Shehu, the president said they should not be spared or forgiven, promised that the perpetrators will receive no mercy. Meanwhile, the Northern Elders Forum, through its Director of Publicity and Advocacy, Akim Baba Ahmed, has demanded the immediate resignation of President Muhammadu Buhari over the killings across the country. Yes, as if Mr. Garba Shehu and Femi Adesina, they have like a prototype in their computer. Yes. So anytime this kind of thing happens, they'll just copy
and paste.
Because he's always condemning, he's always bringing perpetrators into book, and now 7 years, almost 7 years after, I know that those perpetrators, they are never brought to book.
Yes, it's not enough to simply huff and puff. People have to be seen to be alive to their responsibilities. These bandits are not so bothered about what we say. To them, this is just impotent grandstanding. To say, look, the security agencies deal decisively, bring people to book. How many people are being tried as we speak? People are paraded for sundry crimes. After that, we won't hear anything again. Maybe through the back door, some of them will get released. We have not descended heavily enough on people who are killing innocent Nigerians. We've not done that. We've not made examples of these guys, and that is why this thing is rampant. I always say that every country must come up with the right laws to address the problems confronting it. When Uganda was confronted by a big problem of people raping virgins, believing that once they rape virgins, they will be cleansed of HIV. The president had to come out with the death penalty, and the thing stopped. In those days, every time we'll be reading about rape of virgins, and sometimes they will kill those virgins after raping them, believing that they will be cleansed of HIV. But we are no longer reading about those things because the government descended heavily on the perpetrators. In our own case, people will attack a community, kill so many people. Sometimes we will not even respond. We won't say anything. We had to come here to complain about the killings in Kebbi before the people in charge visited the location. I mean, it's just, we are behaving like...
They were perpetrating that act.
We are behaving like these things don't matter. The question to ask is, as the governor of Plateau State, for example, has he visited the scene?
No, it will be in Abuja.
Has he visited the scene?
The politics
before then, there was another major attack on people that he also didn't go there. That's their governor. But we see our governors always in Abuja doing politics and all that while people are dying. It has to stop. We have to show to people that, look, we want to put an end to this nonsense. Killing people as if they are not even human beings. I mean, it should stop. These two local governments, this Kanam and Wase, they are 90% Muslims. It's not even like the usual attacks that we see, okay, Christian taking almost. No, they are 90% Muslim. Wase is a local government of predominantly Muslim people.
So we don't know what these people want.
Kanam, the same thing, and they are neighbors. No, they still, eventually they kidnap people. You see, when people to constantly think that, okay, these are just terrorist attacks, to what end? You first ask the question, to what end? When people have the mission to make money, and we are making it look like, oh, it's just terror. No, that's not the definition. We are deceiving ourselves. If you came, you kill people, they kidnap more than 70 people on the day. But you see, the bandits don't just kidnap, they also kill people. But their mission is to make money off the suffering and pains of our people. We have to know that. Whether they come out to say, okay, this is our goal, like the idiots who attacked the train, saying that the government knows our goal, the government knows what we want. They are bloody criminals. It's money that they're after. They're already talking to families of people that they kidnap. They are not your usual usual terrorists. If you arrest terrorists in Kashmir now, they are not after money. That's the definition of terrorism. The Muslim Brotherhood, who were beheading people in Algeria in the early 90s, it wasn't money that they were after. They won an election and it was taken off them and they got angry.
This one say in the spirit of Salah, they are releasing somebody because it's an elderly man.
Oh, how is he elderly? How old is
liars.
He? Bloody liars. You took money from him. You are now saying that this thing, you are an old man. Which old man? And some Nigerians will be easily deceived.
Can you imagine?
Just deceived over little things as if we don't think.
Olabisi, consistently since Sunday, all our topics, we've been talking about killings, we've been talking about terrorism, because we can't just take our eyes off it. And because across the country, hardly will you see any part that you hear of people dying, people, killed, 25 people killed, this person, killing military. So since Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and today. And if you look at the content analysis of national dailies in the last 6 months, it's always the same subject matter. I don't know what is happening. We are overwhelmed.
And if you also look at the response of government in the last 6 months or in the last few days, it is also always the same. The response is always the president calling on security agencies to either deal mercilessly with perpetrators or not to spare them and all of that. You said something at the beginning that it's as if these scripts are usually copied and pasted. There is no way you will not think like that, because almost all the time you can predict what will be and probably
vow to bring the perpetrators to book. And security should go out, agency should go out and deal mercilessly.
If
they won't rest till they get the perpetrators.
In this particular case, I brought out 2 things that the president said. He said they will get no mercy. They shall not be spared or forgiven. Those are powerful words. Because if you look at it, it's like they will get no mercy. No. You want to do a content analysis. You first of all ask yourself, where is this coming from? Should they get mercy? Where is even the word of mercy coming from in the first instance? Then they should not be forgiven. Where is forgiveness in this case?
Who is even thinking of forgiveness?
Who is even thinking of forgiveness?
Maybe there's a person who wrote it that is thinking of forgiveness.
Because I don't understand where that is coming from. Because this is a criminal offense. It's a criminal offense. If these people are criminals.
And it's still fresh.
And it's,
you can't be thinking of forgiveness.
Who are you forgiving? Who are you showing mercy to? So, in other words, that is probably why we are getting these things happening and happening. Because we keep approaching it the same way. And they said that if you do something continuously and it's not giving you results and you keep doing it, it shows that you are not being serious at all. And it's just so sad that in Nigeria now, the blood of Nigerians is just flowing everywhere, across region, across states, across everywhere. And it's just pretty sad. I don't know.
Okay, I have a caller. Today is calling us from Osun State.
Hello.
Thank you for staying with us today.
All right.
Go ahead.
What's your contribution?
Okay. Hello.
Today, yes, you are live.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let's have your contribution.
Yes. Please, I just have a question, please. Yeah, what is the problem with this state police of 18? Because if it had been that one or the president's son or the speaker or the president of the Senate son are involved in this case, is it the way to look at it? For common man to be killed on daily basis in Nigeria, I mean, I feel like shedding tears as I'm talking to you. What is there? Because if they attack people at very close distance to the state capital, I wonder what will happen to the people living so far away from the capital. If you have the state police in the local government, at least it will be easier for them to monitor the activities of these people. So what is the problem with the state police, for God's sake? Amotekun is doing well in those states and in some other places. Please, you should appeal to them. I doubt if they are ever listening to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, the Northern Elders Forum, through its Director of Publicity and Advocacy, Akim Baba Ahmed, has asked President Muhammadu Buhari to resign.
First, let me address the last statement that Tunde, that he doubts if they ever listen to us. No, they listen. I just cited an example in Kebbi State. They won't listen to us all the time, but there are times when they listen, and I know that we have even played back some of what we told them to do when they eventually did it. So don't have the feeling that they don't listen. They listen. This is a program that they watch. We were here one day talking about the VP. We did not know the VP was watching us. Yep. In fact, we were cracking jokes. You know, he was watching
about restructuring.
About restructuring, and someone said, see, the VP is already in government, so don't expect him to talk about restructuring. You don't talk when you are eating. And the man got angry. He phoned in on the program. He responded, defended himself effectively. Okay. So if they were not listening, if they don't watch, how will he have talked to us on the day when we were even discussing this matter? I was the day too that I was talking about the IG, this current IG, that Boko Haram invaded his village, Gaydam, and I said, this person just took over as IG. You've already raided and taken over his village. He was watching. When he had a chance to talk to me, he said, I saw you that day when you were talking about. So don't have the feeling that they don't watch. They watch. Sometimes they do what we advise them to do. As journalists, we will not stop doing that. It is our duty. When we see something that is bad, we tell the government and leave the rest to them. We are not going to be hitting our heads against the wall if they choose not to do what we advise them to do. It's up to them. It's up to them. Back to your question, you see, in December 2020, the Northern Elders Forum advised the president to resign. For me, will the resignation of President Buhari bring a drastic change to what's going on in the country? I'm not convinced. Because when you ask him to resign, are you also saying the entire government should resign? I don't. We need a fundamental reordering of some of our processes, some of our structures, and the things that can make good governance possible. We need to sit down, look at those deliverables, and we have to do it in a very, very in a holistic manner. I don't think simply telling the president to resign is the solution. And you know, many people will not take what Dr. Baba Ahmed is saying seriously, because you know this is political season. They will say, oh, it was Atiku's agent, the INEC coalition center in Abuja. Remember that day when he had this argument with Keyamo? Or you've forgotten? So they will say, look, it's a partisan politician. Northern Elders Forum, their voice will carry greater weight when none of them is seen as beholden to a particular party, You understand?
Detach these interest groups.
No one is saying that the president. No one is saying that the president has performed so well. I criticize him here. On the issue of security, the president has done badly. I say that with my full chest. And the evidence is there for us to see. You are talking about the fact that we are talking about this in over 4 days. We are not going to see the major issues in the country and refuse to talk about them. When trains get hijacked and people are kidnapped, they are still in captivity. Are we going to keep quiet? Is that the role of the journalists? That's not the role of the journalist. And the journalist has the choice to go and go into farming if he will not do his job the way it is prescribed for him to do. So this is the thing. I do not think, one, the president will not listen. This is not the first time. 2 years ago, he told him to resign. The old man didn't listen. He will not listen. What we can do is see how we can get the people in government, not just the president, but the people around him, the armed forces, to change their tactics, to see how they can protect us better. Let's offer suggestions. But if we think that we can tell Baba Buhari to resign at this stage, it's like just wasting one's breath. He will not resign. Even if he wants to resign, the people around him will say, no, Baba, just hang on, hang on. No, we have just a little over a year left. So that is the thing.
So when the president has been, they asked the president to resign, and a lot of people will tell you that his resignation is about, this call late in the day.
Well, initially when we started, we talked about people being overwhelmed, overburdened, and all of that. I count this call as a call coming out of an overwhelmed group. Apparently, they also saw what we are talking about, all the killings and all of that, and which they actually cited as their reason for asking the president to resign. But you see, there is what you can refer to as a lame duck call. So even you that is saying it, you know there is not going to achieve anything. You understand?
You don't expect him to
listen to you, but you just want to make a statement, just to show that okay, this is we don't agree with what is happening, and things are tough and all of that. So we want the president to know that we are not happy, especially coming from the Northern Elders Forum, that is supposed to be seen as, one of the major support groups for the president. I guess that is what they are just trying to say. Because for me, the president resigning, what will that achieve? Nothing, really. Besides, it will create another constitutional problem. You begin to say that, okay, people are already even saying that, please let election come. Let it hold. We don't want anything that will disturb 2023. Some people are even misinterpreting that call to mean that maybe they want to scuttle the democratic process and all of that. So,
okay. And the combatants in the 2022 Osun State governorship election have been unveiled. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has released the final list of candidates eligible to participate in the July 16 governorship election in the Southwest states. According to the list by INEC, the incumbent Governor Gboyega Oyetola and of the All Progressive Congress and Senator Ademola Adeleke of the People's Democratic Party will slug it out with 13 other candidates. Babajide, it's going to be a very, very tough election. And we expect that it's going to go down the wire the way it went down the last 4 years. 4 years ago, that it's not an election that anybody will predict a landslide for any political party.
It's a long time from now, but I know that it won't be as tough as the last one. Certainly not. It won't be as tough as the last one. And
the last one had a rerun?
Yes, had a rerun. Gboyega Oyetola was almost going to lose, but he bounced back through the instrumentality of the rerun. He won't need a rerun this time. He's going to win. He's still far away, but I can predict that Gboyega Oyetola is going to win, and he will win in fairly comfortable fashion. So some of the issues that were present in the last election are no longer there. Some are still there.
They are there in another guise.
Yes, some are like the PDP, for example. INEC, this is a provisional list, as you know. It's still subject to change, depending on what the parties come up with. In the PDP, for example, I won't be surprised if the courts kick Ademola Adeleke out of this list, and he gets replaced by Dotun Babayemi, the man from Bogan, because there is already a court matter.
That's favored Dotun Babayemi.
Yusuf Alisan, one of the very bright lawyers in our country, as we all know, is Babayemi's lawyer. And what they were saying was that the court, a court in Ijebu-Jesha, gave the order that they should allow super delegates to take part in the primaries. But the primaries that Adeleke won, those super delegates were not used. You know, there was a parallel primary which Dr. Babayemi won. At that parallel primaries, they went ahead and used super delegates. The super delegates are the X this, X that, you know, all of those kind of people. So if the courts affirm that you conducted the primaries in contravention of the court order, that's very serious. It could cost him this ticket. So that's why I'm saying, look, the way things stand now, anything can still happen. Names on that list can still be, some of those names on the list can still be changed. Some of the aspirants who contested against Ademola Adeleke, like Sonia Omini, Laji Fatai Akimbade, Dele Adeleke, and Akin Ogunbi, they are no longer within the. They are not. They are not supporting. They are not supporting Adeleke.
In fact, Akin has the candidate of the Labour Party.
Yes,
now.
He has gone to. Is it a court party?
The Labour Party. His name is gone on that list.
Yes, he's gone to another party now. So these are. It now looks like Ademola Adeleke is standing alone amongst the people that they contested for that ticket. So these are some of the variables that may affect the outcome of the election. If PDP wants to unseat Oyetola, then they have to come together. They have to be stronger than even that last time, because he has incumbency powers now that he didn't have at that time. So it's going to be interesting.
Now, when we look at within the All Progressive Congress, it's not as if all is well. Yes, there's this sentiment that, look, the Iwo people, they are agitating that power should go to the West. And you have the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, also having a parallel, All Progressive Congress that, his people suffered that kind of defeat in the last primary election. And a lot of people will say they are going to an election with a divided house, and they might not have it easy.
Exactly. It's not as straightforward. Of course, it is politics, and because money also plays a major part in our own type of politics here, you don't know what is likely to happen. Anybody can be persuaded from both parties, because for me, the major gladiators in the Osun election are the PDP and the APC, and the other 13 political parties, the two major parties can actually persuade them to their side one way or the other. And of course, we cannot remove the Aregbe's factor in Osun election. Already, I heard that he's saying that his people should vote for whoever they like. He doesn't want to endorse anybody.
And some of his guys, they've gone to the People's Democratic Party.
So there may be a spoiler thing that you want to be, that one we shouldn't rule it out. But at the same time, I don't also expect the incumbent governor to just sit down and watch, You understand? He too must have be up and doing. And I also know that, you see, even the court case for the PDP, at the end of the day, they can still renegotiate with the other candidates, candidates that contested with. Yeah. So for the.
But if the court says that the guy is not the proper candidate,
then there is nothing he can do. He has to.
One thing about Gboyega Oyetola is that very quiet governor, but in terms of achievements, in terms of what he has done and what he's putting together, you hardly hear him talk. But when you look closely, you discover that
he's called the gentleman governor. But,
he has done a lot.
Well, his methods are working, no doubt about it, and he's able to bring a lot of people to his side. And one of the things working for him is having Omishori on his side. Omishori, since 1999, Omishori has never lost an election in his constituency. Even when he contested on the platform of the SDP, he still managed to retain that his constituency. That Ife, his grip on Ife is strong. And when you look at that whole state, it's like a tripod, and Ife is one of the legs on the tripod. So if you have Ife on your side, the governor is already assured of support in other areas, and with Ife coming to complement that support, you know, it makes it difficult for the opposition, for anybody to defeat him. The numbers are just appearing to be in his favor. That's the way I see it. And the primaries also showed us what is likely to happen in the main election, because if the other people are indeed the threats, what were they able to do within their own party? Within their party, what were they able to do during that primary election? So that's the question that people need to ask, so that we don't look like we are even exaggerating their capacity. So the incumbency is a very strong factor in our politics, and Gentleman Oyetola is an incumbent governor. He knows what he has to do, and it will take some stopping.
The former deputy speaker even resigned from APC. I've forgotten the man from Ilubu. I've forgotten the name. Lasso Yusuf. He's now a candidate in another party. The two major parties, that's the APC and the People's Democratic Party, they are not having it easy in terms of internal crisis.
Even in spite of that, I don't see much of what...
Okay, let me quickly pick this call. I think Chudi is calling us from Kafanchan. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. BKO.
I greet you, sir.
It has been a while indeed.
Yeah.
I wish to take this opportunity to actually congratulate you and thank you for your superb analytical prowess.
Thank you, my brother.
Then the area I want to concentrate is the Osun State forthcoming Guba election.
Okay.
I want all the contenders to have a fair play, and I have a fair play also. The electorate knows exactly whom they want. I am not from Osun State, but from the records, I can understand and commend the administrative style of Governor Oyetola so far.
Yeah.
Therefore, it will be very hard for anybody to unseat him in a credible and fair election.
Yeah.
So I thank you so very much
for
the information we are getting from you from time to time. God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you, Chude. So we are talking about the wranglings within these parties.
What I was trying to say is that in spite of those wranglings too, it's not going to affect much of what we are going to say.
So you don't see any party pulling surprise?
No, I don't see
small parties?
And any of them pulling any.
Not the fact that Olabunmi Yusuf has gone to another party.
He's not going
he was
to.
defeated.
He
was defeated in the polling station during the primaries. He was defeated right there, hands down. By a huge margin.
He's not going to.
Let's not over-exaggerate the
he's not going to have
capacity
any
of these
major effects on the results of the election. I also think that all of these things, we should look at the electorate themselves. What are they thinking? And what they at least the performance of the incumbent governor. How has it touched their lives?
Yes.
I know that before he came to power, there is this thing called half salary in
modulated salary,
which he came to solve. And I also know that there were issues around the education sector in that state, which has also been solved. So I'm sure that the electorate themselves, they know what they want.
Okay, just before we go, let's say happy birthday to the editor-in-chief of the Guardian newspaper. That's one of our own, that Martins Oloja, who clocked 60 on Tuesday. Jolly good fellow.
Yes.
Martins is 60.
Doesn't look it. So, when you look at his picture, you won't believe that he's already an old man. Martins is one of the most cerebral journalists in our country. He's very, very opinionated.
The majesty of democracy.
Yes, that's the man who talks about the majesty of democracy.
Yes.
You know, he's someone that I like to sit with and test my wits with any day. And I was with the NYC DG. He said, "Look, I enjoy it anytime you and Martins are on the set together." You know, it took us a while to get him to begin to attend.
Yes, because after being made the editor-in-chief.
No, I mean, even before, I had been looking for him for a long time before eventually he agreed to start appearing on our show. And I can say that we have not regretted having him. You know, his whole life was dedicated to excellence in journalism. I'm happy.
Martins Oloja is 60.
Wow. Happy birthday. You know, he was even the one that suggested my name for journalist hangout. He told me, he said, "No, you should be coming," and all of that. And eventually, when it happened, I saw him. I said, "I know you suggested my name." I said, "Hey, so you knew?" I said, "You discussed it once with me, so I knew that you must have been behind it." So if you know him when he talks with passion, with a lot of energy, and I just wish him all the best. Really, I didn't know that he's up to 60 years. He doesn't look it.
We wish him well.
You know, he keeps his haircut very low.
Martin,
you won't see any strand of gray hair.
Okay.
We are coming.
So. But age will catch up with every one of us, whether we like it or not.
Journalists Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.